Is there anything we can do to fully enhance our body's own self-healing capacities so that we can gracefully balance and integrate our system when dealing with anything? There is an energy resonation that's not at like the finest level. At the finest level, these hums or energy resonations which are healing are like people. They're like beings. They're like they're kind of wholenesses in themselves that have presence. But when we come up to a slightly more manifest level, just slightly more, not quite all the way to the full causal, but just up, getting closer to the causal level, there are locations. And there is a location. And in order to invoke the location, the energy resonation of this location, we find our way into a healing academy that exists in the very, very fine levels of creation. It's a little different from the kind of resonations that we've talked about up till now, because it's sort of enhanced or supported by cosmic environmental factors, if that makes sense. That, in other words, this location exists as a byproduct of collective resonations. So sometimes when you're healing yourself, you bring up the quality of forgiveness, and the forgiveness goes up, and it soaks into the physiology, it gets into the DNA, and it goes to the ancestors, and it really helps them, or it goes to some part of the body that we were feeling shameful or whatever, it works like that. But there's some resonations which are the byproduct of our unity, of our unification. They're the byproduct of our collective intention, if you will. And this healing academy, this ancient healing academy, is an expression of that. There are also locations for making wealth that are similar, that are the byproduct of collective intention. But there is a healing academy which exists whether you consciously know it exists or not. Whereas some of those resonations we were talking about earlier, like maybe some angelic quality that might come up and do some healing, it does it because you put your attention on it and you become aware of its existence and you activate it with your attention. Whereas this healing academy, it's already being activated by the collective intention of beings from a very many variety of creation, a big variety of creation. So it's a place. You can find your way in to the collective intention there. You can find your way in to the collective vision that is such a place is needed, and it exists. And in that place, laws of nature have collected, which are highly supportive for the healing process. And you can, in that place, harness your own healing capacity to a much greater degree with much support behind that process. So think of it as a great healing academy. And my experience is that whenever I enter that place, or whenever I'm working with somebody and we go in that place together, the first thing that happens is gratitude and relief and appreciation that even such a place exists. That's the first thing, is gratitude. And that gratitude goes to kind of like the sacred center of that place, like the overseeing intelligence of that location, like a offering. And then the second thing that happens is there's a lot of clarity, transparency, truth starts to flow, and almost always details and further information about the nature of the healing process activates. And then the healing capacities already present in the physiology arise sequentially in the way which is highest and best for the particular healing in question. And my experience is that it takes very little effort for that process to occur when awareness has sort of located itself in this cosmic space. I gave it a name. Sometimes giving it a name helps find it. As human beings, we use language as such a beautiful tool to help us not only describe what we experience, but define it as well. So I call that place the Healing Academy of Lord Dhanvantari, because those syllables, Dhanvantari, are expressions of a great Vedic healer. And in the Sanskrit language, the energy vibration of the word actually contains the form of the being. So the vibration helps. We can use language. It's a permission slip.